So diving in, I mean, did you hit the ground running? Like, was it instant success? Was there highs, lows, struggles? And then also, did you just jump in full time, or were you kind of navigating bartending and real estate?
So I jumped in part-time at first. I was working with a lender. I don't know if you know Tyler Bossetti.
You know the
At
name.
the, he was working before he left and was doing what he was doing lending. And he was my first lender I ever worked with. And he was awesome. He really helped me create a strong sense of my business at first and just helping me be a good agent. But I remember he had hit me up and he was like, hey, this was about 6 months in. He was like, hey, let me take you to brunch. And I'm like, okay. So we meet for brunch that Saturday and I'm sitting there talking to him and, just catching up. And he's like, so it's time to quit your job. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that decision yet. Everybody in my life had told me, like, it's not time to quit your job. You need that stable income. I was still having my paycheck coming every 2 weeks, plus my tips that I was making. I didn't know if I was truly ready to give that up. And I just remember Tyler telling me, like, trust me, you need to jump now because you will be super thankful that you did. And he gave me like a week to quit my job. It was like I'm going to reach back out and you have about a week. So I remember like the next 2 days I sat on it and then I texted my boss and I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put in my 2 weeks. I think it's like time for me to give this a go and really like invest in myself and just, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me, but I'm ready to give this a full go.
How did he know, and how did you know? Because I think a lot of people struggle with that, right? Like, I always tell agents, you're never going to be fully 100% comfortable, and I think a lot of that is because we are so ingrained with the security of a job, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing about all of that is your job's not secure. Your
No.
paycheck's not secure. You could get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
So so
Yeah.
it's like, how did you know, like, what was going on in the business, or how did you know that it was the right time to take that step?
At that point, it was, I had a client my first day of being licensed. I closed a deal within the first 30 days. I think I closed 12 deals my first year. After like my fourth one, he was just like, my referrals were crazy. I think I had sent him like 150 referrals in like a 3 or 4 month period. Like it was crazy. And he was just like, imagine if you had the time to truly focus on all of these, like you should be, what would happen? So, I mean, after I quit my job, my business doubled in 2 months. It was the craziest. I was so appreciative that I had one person in my life telling me it's time to let go. Like, let's just go all in and see what happens, because it changed my life.
Yeah, and I think I always find that during these conversations with agents, there's always usually something from either childhood or another career or through the college years or whatever that always transitions to the real estate business for them. And I think it started when you said, you always knew it by 5 years old that you just needed to be your own boss. And I think
Yeah.
that then led into, and correct me if I'm wrong, but just from the conversation so far, I think that then led into more of that leadership type person, and more of the work ethic that it would take to be your own boss. And then
Absolutely.
you transition that into the real estate career. I always tell people, like, if you truly trust and believe in yourself, in your work ethic, then you're going to be fine.
100%. I agree. Like 100%. There's been so many days where I'm like, I'll come home and I'll just lay on my couch and stare at my ceiling. Like, did this happen? Like, did that deal really happen like that? And I'm like, you know what? Oh, well, whatever that appraiser said, whatever that lender did, oh, well, I believe in myself and I believe in my business. And I know that I'm going to take care of my clients to the best of my ability. That's all I can do. And we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I think that having that confidence in yourself is really important, because if I didn't have it, I seriously don't know how I would have gotten through some of those days.
Well, especially as a individual agent, right? It's also equally important to have your circle around you, and find those people. I always tell people, I believe everyone needs to be a coach, or sorry, I believe everyone needs to have a coach. It could be mentor, coach, whichever you
I
want. I
agree.
believe everyone needs to have a coach. I believe everyone needs to have a peer, right? Someone that's going along the same path as you, the same journey as far as where you're at in your business. And I think we can all coach someone get to where you're currently at.
Yeah.
But having that circle of people, like a Tyler for you, right? Like that pushed you out of your comfort zone, that believed you that, you could do more as a solo agent. I think it's even more important to have that.
100%. I think about all the time how much farther I am now because I had that one person that pushed me versus had I just waited till I believed in myself enough or till I was ready, because we're never ready.
Right.
My business would not be where it's at right now. So I'm so thankful for that.